Hello students, welcome in your quantum mechanics class. As in our previous lecture we have talked about the step potential, and in that lecture we have considered the case with particle whose energy was less than the step height. But in present lecture we will talk about the step potential with condition that the energy of the particle is more than the step height. So we suppose we have a step potential at x is equal to 0. There is a step potential, and when x is greater than 0 the potential V is equal to, let it be V naught in this region, and for x is less than 0 potential is 0 and the energy of the particle E is greater than step height. So this E is greater than V naught. So this is the case. But in our previous lecture the energy was less than V naught. So now we will look at both the quantum and classical aspect of this situation. Now first we define the step potential, which can be represented as Vx is equal to 0 for x is less than 0. You can say reason 1, we will say it reason 1, and Vx is equal to V naught for x is greater than 0, or we can say it is reason 2. So we will consider this as reason 1, this as reason 2. So when particle reaches at x is equal to 0, it experiences a force due to the potential V naught. So force, that is the retarding force, F is equal to minus dV upon dx. So that V naught is the step height which due to which a force field act on the particle. So classically in the reason 1 the particle can move freely because the potential is 0, and at x equal to 0 it experiences a force F is equal to minus dV upon dx. This is the force, and this force is toward the left, negative sign is here, and its velocity decreases. It would not be reflected at x equal to 0 because the particle has enough energy to enter the region x is equal to x is greater than 0. So because the height of the particle is greater than the step height, or classically you can say you have a wall with height this V naught and you throw a correct ball whose height is greater than this height V naught, then the ball will be in region 2. That means classically in this situation we will say that particle will always be transmitted, but due to the retarding force F equal to minus dV upon dx, due to this force the velocity is different in region 1 and in region 2. So we will say the velocity in region 1 is V1 and in region 2 it is V2. So we have two reasons. So this is the classical aspect. So particle will be transmitted. Now the quantum mechanically the potential V naught is not depend upon time. So we use time independent Schrodinger equation, which is d square psi upon dx square plus 2m upon h cut square E minus V into psi is equal to 0. Let it be equation number 2. So this potential is defined as equation number 1. So in reason 1 we have V is equal to 0, x is less than 0. So equation 2 can be rewritten as d square psi upon dx square plus 2me upon h cut square into psi is equal to 0. So let it be equation number 3. We can write it as d square psi upon dx square plus k1 square into psi is equal to 0, where k1 is square root 2me upon h cut square. So let it be question number 4, and this is a second order differential equation, and its solution is psi equal to a exponential iota k1x plus b exponential minus iota k1x. So this is for the reason 1. As this is the wave function for reason 1, so I will denote it by psi 1. Now in reason 2, we have v is equal to v naught. So equation 2 can be written as d square psi. I will substitute the value of v as v naught upon dx square plus 2m upon h cut square e minus v naught into psi is equal to 0. This is equation number 6, and d square psi upon dx square plus k2 square into psi is equal to 0, where k2 is equal to square root 2m e minus v naught upon h cut square. So this is k2. So the solution of this quadratic equation, second order differential equation, is psi is equal to c exponential iota k2x plus d exponential minus iota k2x. This is equation number 8. As this wave function is in the region 2, so I will denote it psi 2. Now here this part is the incident part and this part is the reflected part. Negative sign, which shows that this is the propagation of wave is along the negative x-axis, and if we consider x equal to 0 here, that means, so when this part of the wave function in this region 2 denotes that wave is reflected, but it is a step potential. There is nothing which can reflect a wave, so that means we have to omit this term. So finally we have psi 2 is equal to c exponential iota k2x. So wave is only transmitted and propagating along the x-axis. So now we have a, b and c as the three arbitrary constants to be determined by the boundary condition. I am repeating again, the term d exponential minus iota k2x is rejected because there is nothing in the region 2 which can reflect the wave. So I omit this region and consider only the propagating along the positive direction of x-axis is considered in expression 9. So we have psi 1 and psi 2. Psi 1 is from equation 5 and psi 2 is from equation 9. Now we will find out the unknown constant a, b and c with the help of boundary condition. So boundary condition is wave function is continuous at the boundary is at x equal to 0. So the wave function of the particle is continuous at x equal to 0. That means continuous means psi 1 at x is equal to 0 is equal to psi 2 at x equal to 0. Now what is psi 1? From equation 5 it is a exponential iota k1 into 0. This is 0 is the substitution of x as 0 plus b exponential minus iota k1 into 0 is equal to this c exponential iota k2 into 0. So we have a plus b is equal to c. Now the second boundary condition is first order derivative of psi with respect to x, that means d psi 1 upon dx is equal to d psi x upon d2 at x equal to 0. So the derivative is iota k1 a. When I substitute the value of x0, this term is 1, and the derivative of this term is minus iota k1b, and when I substitute the value of x0, this term is 1, is equal to, derivative of this term is iota k2 into c. When I substitute the value of x as 0, this term is again 1. So I have a minus b is equal to iota k2 upon iota k1 into c. So a minus b is equal to k2 upon k1 into c. So we have equation number 10 and 11, which gives the relation between the three arbitrary constants a, b and c. Now we will find out a and b in term of c from equation 10 and 11. If we add 10 and 11, we have 2a is equal to 1 plus k2 upon k1 into c. So we have a is equal to c upon 2, 1 plus k2 upon k1. And when I subtract equation 11 from 10, we have 2b is equal to 1 minus k2 upon k1 into c. So b is equal to c upon 2, 1 minus k2 upon k1. So we have finally the arbitrary constants a and b in term of c. Now we will substitute these values. So finally we have psi 1 is equal to, I will substitute a and b. This is equation number 12 and 13 in equation 5. So this is 5. So value of a is c by 2, 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential iota k1 x plus c by 2, 1 minus k2 upon k1 exponential minus iota k1 x. So this is equation number 14, and psi 2 is as it is. Psi 2 is equal to c exponential iota k2 x. Now this term gives the incident part, this term gives the reflected part, and this term is the transmitted part because it is in region 2. So finally we have psi incident is equal to c by 2, 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential iota k1 x. This is the incident part, and the term c by 2, 1 minus k2 upon k1 exponential minus iota k1 x is the reflected part. This is psi, I will denote reflected, this will denoted by psi incident, and this is the transmitted, psi transmitted, TR. So finally we will find out the transmission and reflection coefficient so that we can find out the behavior of the particle. So we have psi incident is equal to c by 2, 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential iota k1x. Psi reflected is equal to c by 2, 1 minus k2 upon k1 exponential minus iota k1x, and psi transmitted is equal to c exponential iota k2x. So these are the three terms. Now we will find out the reflection coefficient R. The reflection coefficient R is defined as the ratio of reflected probability density current to the incident probability density current. So by definition, the probability density current is velocity into wave function into the complex conjugate of wave function. That means we can say velocity v psi, we are looking at reflected wave, so psi reflection, psi star reflection. So this is reflected wave is in region 1, so we are considering the velocity v1, and psi incident is also in region 1 into psi star incident. So the upper term gives the reflected probability current density and lower term gives the incident probability current density. Now we will substitute the values. So we have v1 is cancelled, so psi reflected is c by 2, 1 minus k2 upon k1 exponential minus iota k1x into c by 2 1 minus k2 upon k1 exponential iota k1x, because psi star is the complex conjugate of psi, so I have replaced iota with minus iota in this expression. So psi incident is c by 2 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential iota k1x into c by 2 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential minus iota k1x. So after simplification all these terms are cancelled out, so finally we have 1 minus k2 k1 minus k2 into k1 minus k2 upon k1 plus k2 into k1 plus k2. So this is the term we have finally. So we can write it as k1 minus k2 upon k1 plus k2 whole square. Okay, so this is the reflection coefficient R. So R is from this expression, let it be question number 14, 15, let it be 16. So this question number 16 indicates that R is always less than 1, but R is greater than 0, and R approaches to 0 if k1 is equal to k2, and R approaches to 1 if k2 approaches to 0. If k2 approaches to 0, then R approaches to 1. But k2 is, we know k2 was square root 2me minus v naught upon h cut square, and k1 was square root 2me upon h cut square. That was the k value of k1 and k2. So if k1 is equal to k2 only if v naught is equal to 0. So the reflected or the reflection will be 0 only if v naught is equal to 0. That means in the region 2 v naught is 0. Therefore there must be some reflection even when E is greater than 0. This is in contrast to classical mechanics where R is equal to 0 for E is greater than V naught. Classically we know that when the height of the particle is greater than the height of this barrier, the particle is transmitted, there is no reflection. But in this case we find out that wave is reflected even when E is greater than V naught from the derivation. So now we will look at the transmission coefficient. The transmission coefficient is equal to ratio of transmitted probability density current to the incident probability density current. So I denote it by T. So transmission coefficient plus current is velocity in region 2 is V2, transmitted wave is in region 2, into psi transmitted into psi star transmitted, which is the complex conjugate of psi transmitted, upon V1, because incident wave is in region 1, psi incident into psi star incident. So when we simplify it, it is V2 psi transmitted is C exponential iota k2x exponential minus iota k2x into C, and the value of this is V1 C by 2 incident 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential iota k1x into C by 2 1 plus k2 upon k1 exponential minus iota k1x. So after simplification it is B2 C square, C is cancelled with C, 2 is 4 is upon V1, so this is 1 plus k2 upon k1 whole square. So when we simplify it we will get 4 k1 square v2 upon k1 plus k2 whole square into v1. So this is transmission coefficient T. So now we know P is equal to mv. So corresponding to v1 I write p1 and corresponding to v2 I write mv2. So we have 4 k1 square p2 upon k1 plus k2 whole square upon p1. Now as we know from this expression we have k1 into h cut is equal to square root 2me, and from this expression we have k2 h cut square root 2me minus v naught. So I have rewritten these two expressions in terms of this k1 h cut and this k2 h cut as. Now we will substitute this value of p1 and p2. This is p1, this is p2. So I will write it as 4k1 square upon k1 plus k2 whole square into, this is p1 as k2 h cut, and this p1 is k1 h cut. So h cut is cancelled, so we have k1 is cancelled with this term, we have 4 k1 k2 upon k1 plus k2 whole square. So let it be question number. This is 17, this is 18. Now we have some value of transmission coefficient T also, which is 4 k1 k2 upon k1 plus k2 the whole square. So it indicates that T is also less than 1. This is in contrast to classical mechanics, because classically T is equal to 1 when the height of particle is greater than the height of barrier, it enters into region 2. But here T is less than 1, which indicates that the particle is transmitted but not completely. There is some probability of reflection also, because reflection coefficient is also there. Thus we find out that the behavior of particle quantum mechanically is quite different from that of classical mechanics. Now according to the definition, let us check. According to the definition, R plus T, reflection plus transmission coefficient, is 1. So from equation 16 we have k1 minus k2 whole square upon k1 plus k2 whole square plus, this is the value of R, plus T. T is 4k1 k2, 4k1 k2 upon k1 plus k2 square. So we have common LCM k1 plus k2 whole square, and when I simplify upper term it is k1 square plus k2 square minus 2 k1 k2 plus 4 k1 k2. So in the upper term finally we have k1 square plus k2 square. When I simplify it, it is 2 k1 k2. So that means upper term is also the square of k1 plus k2 and denominator also k1 plus k2 whole square. So we have finally this is as 1. So R plus T equal to 1. So this is all about the solution in case of step potential, where the energy of particle is more than the step height, and you have find out that the behavior of the particle is quite different quantum mechanically in contrast to the classical mechanics. So classically, when the height of the particle is greater than the barrier, particle is completely transmitted in region 2, but quantum mechanically we had find out that even when the energy of the particle is greater than the step potential, there is some reflection coefficient R, and there is a some transmission coefficient which is less than 1. That means the behavior of particle quantum mechanically is in contradiction with the classical mechanics. Thank you for watching.